In this video, I'm going to talk about the automation modes. This right here is the Automation Mode Selector, and it allows you to pick which mode you're in. The modes your automation can be in are off, read, touch, latch, write, and then another mode called trim, which I'll talk about later. If I was in off, my track view selector would be grayed out for that automation type. Also, it would show you a blue line telling you what it's actually playing back, which is the track without automation, wherever the fader was located. Read will allow me to play back automation, but it won't allow me to write automation. You know you're recording automation because your automation mode selector will go red. Also, you'll see your automation moves played out over your edit window. The first mode is touch. Touch is the easiest one to define. When I'm touching the fader, it's going to start writing automation, and as soon as I let go, it will stop. So I touch my fader. You can see that the automation mode selector is red. We also see red writing over here, and then I'm still touching it, and then as soon as I let go, it will go back to its null point and stop writing automation. To get rid of automation breakpoints, I could just highlight over them if I'm viewing them in my track view selector, and then just hit delete and they're gone. The next mode is Latch Mode. For this one, I'm going to open up my automation window. I could get there by hitting Command Keypad 4 on a Mac, Control Keypad 4 on a PC. It starts the same way as touch. As soon as I touch the fader, it starts writing, and then it continues writing when I let go. And it will continue until I hit stop or I do one of the matching functions. Another thing about either touch or latch is you will only automate the functions that you are touching, but you can do multiple ones. Right now I have both pan and volume going. I can auto-match all of these things at once across all channels by hitting the Automatch button in the automation window. If I wanted to just turn off one parameter, like let's say volume, and then leave the pan writing, I can command click the write enable button for volume in the automation window, and it turns off volume across all channels that are writing automation and leaves the pan going. In addition to these types of global auto match, you can also do a channel auto match. So let's say I have multiple things going across multiple channels. On a Mac, I can command click the Automation Mode Selector. It stops writing things on the green track and it leaves things running on the purple track below. This is done by control click on the Automation Mode Selector on a PC. The next automation mode is called Touch Latch. This is only available on Pro Tools Ultimate. And what it does is it takes your faders, and your faders will be in touch. So if I let go, it goes back to its null point. But things like pans will stay in latch. The reason for this is based on the design of most recording control surfaces. A lot of them will have touch-sensitive faders, but all the knobs on the consoles, Pro Tools wouldn't know you were automating unless you moved them. And it also wouldn't know when you stopped automating because they aren't touch-sensitive. So touch latch is something that is useful for that type of console. The last mode is something called write. In the days of old recording consoles like SSLs, you would do what was called an initial write pass. Your fine automation would be updates to your write pass. This isn't necessary now. I am not a fan of this personally. The thing about write is it's always writing, and it's writing across all parameters whether you're touching them or not. You'll notice that this is already red. So as soon as I hit play, it's going to start writing automation. And you'll notice that it's writing it across the pan, it's writing across the volume, no matter what I've touched or I haven't touched. So the thing that's tricky about this is, let's say I had some automation on my pan that I really liked. That means if I go into write mode, it's going to start writing. And maybe I just wanted to do some volume automation in this, but you'll notice that it's erasing my pan automation at the same time. So write is dangerous because it will erase everything on other channels, even the ones that you can't see. The other thing to notice about write mode is the assumption is you're going to go into an update mode afterwards. So it immediately changed it into latch after I did my initial pass. In preferences, you can choose what mode it will go into after your initial pass. On the right side, it says after write pass, switch to. So this is a test question, which is why I brought it up. It doesn't really matter. Pro Tools doesn't care what you switch it to. So you have three main modes here. You have touch, you have latch, and then you have write. If you are in write mode already, it can switch to touch or latch, or it could just stay in write mode afterwards. Personally, I would just stay away from write mode.